Well, Mom, June's a popular month for brides. Doug and Judy and Allison and Curry and you and Dad. What do you remember about your wedding day? When
Oh,
was it?
it was hot. The 17th of June. A very hot day in Dallas, North Carolina,
Was that 1939?
1939.
69 years ago.
Yeah, and I still get pointed out as having a southern accent. I don't know how it happened, but it hasn't changed,
Not.
I guess. But anyway, Bob was worried that I wouldn't have things ready, but because I worked until the first part of June, and Kat had arranged for a dressmaker to be ready to make my dress after I got to Dallas and chose my wedding material for my dress. So Bob just knew it wouldn't be ready
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. No, so, but it was, and he got there several days ahead of time. And
Who all came to your wedding?
Aunt Susie and Uncle Fred, Bob's aunt and her husband from Washington, D.C., came, and he brought a little movie machine. Not many people had them in their homes at that time, but he had one and took some pictures outdoors.
In color, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were there, and something happened.
It just went dark because I'm not touching it. Go ahead.
George and Jeanette came from Knoxville, and
Did
Some
Bill, was
friends.
Bill there? Bill? Did
Bill
come?
Bill came. He was in school at Yale, I think, at that time.
Who was in your wedding party?
Well, my sister Deanie was my maid of honor, and George, Bob's brother, was his best man. Bill played the piano,
So
and a lot of friends from Dallas and Gastonia and around were there.
so how was there a reception?
Yes, just there at home.
Uh-huh. Cake and
Cake and ice cream in the form of a wedding bell.
oh.
And apparently, they told me later, I didn't know about it at the time. It hadn't been opened up. You know, it was the wedding bells were packed in dry ice,
Oh.
and the packages hadn't been well opened soon enough for them to get
Soft.
a little bit soft.
Uh-huh.
So they said they just rolled around on the plate. But I didn't know a thing about that until later. But,
So how'd you make your getaway?
well, I changed my clothes and we were all ready to go. Kat was going to take us. We had hit Bob's car over at my great aunt's house, Aunt Deanie Durham.
Talk a little louder because Fred's doing his
Yeah.
thing.
And of course, Kat had parked her car, so she thought she could just get out and go. Well, these people who were going to try to keep us there had parked cars, so they
Oh.
kept, every time she'd move, they'd move their cars. So we had quite a time. Her husband, Smathers, was pretending to help us, but I think he was helping the guys. Because he'd tell us one thing and go back and tell them something else.
Yeah.
But finally, Kat thought she could get out. So we dashed for the car, and as I was getting in, somebody frightened me. I thought the door was going to catch my foot or my leg. But anyway, all three of us ran the front seat, and she finally got us over, and we got in the car and started for Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And
Were the guys right behind you?
yeah, by the time we got to Gastonia, it just barely started. They were some of our friends from Chattanooga, a couple cars were right behind us, and Bob was so hot. It must have been 100 or more.
Oh
that
my gosh.
day. And he had a suit coat on and was driving,
Oh.
and couldn't stop, or they would have been upon us.
So you went all the way, what, to Charlotte
Well,
or
we
so before?
went past Charlotte
Oh,
and
gosh.
finally thought we had ditched him, and I guess we had, because he got to take off his coat.
Okay, well that sounds like a great day, Mom.
Oh, it was.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of that.